With Spider-Man's move into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the character's first solo outing was bound to include plenty of fun. Nods to the other famous superheroes. From Robert Downey Jr.'s appearance as Tony Stark Iron Man, to Peter's school showing Captain America, and references to Thor, S.H.I.E.L.D., and more. There was plenty for fans to take in. Here are 10 Easter eggs from Spider-Man: Homecoming you may have missed. 1.
Rather than include the usual music that plays over the Marvel logo opening that's included in every film, the music in Spider-Man: Homecoming is actually the theme from the 1967 Spider-Man cartoon.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Does whatever a spider can, spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies.
Hi, I'm Captain America. Whether you're in the classroom...
Peter's school life is a much bigger part of this film than it was in the previous ones, and as such, he spends more time with his classmates. Among them are a lot of familiar names from Spider's history.
Can I be your guy in the chair?
Ned Leeds. In the film, Ned is Peter's best friend and the man in the chair. In the comics, Leeds actually becomes the Hobgoblin. It doesn't seem likely that the film's version of the character will head down that path. Liz Allen, Peter's love interest in the film, actually debuted the same time Spider-Man himself did in Amazing Fantasy 15. She was a love interest of both Peter and Flash Thompson.
No way.
Kinda. Ugh, gross.
Coach Wilson and Captain America are friends.
Flash Thompson. No matter the universe, Flash is always Peter Parker's high school bully.
Yeah, it would be
Betty Brant. In the comics, she works for the Daily Bugle, but in Homecoming, she's another one of Peter's classmates. She's getting a jump on that journalism career as a reporter for the school news channel. Fun fact, in the comics, Betty Brant has a relationship with Ned Leeds before he breaks bad.
I don't know what he looks like. Like, what if he's, like, seriously burned?
I wouldn't care. I would still love him for the person he is on the outside.
I'm Captain America. Whether you're in the classroom or on the
know him too?
Michelle sticks to the background for most of Spider-Man: Homecoming, more content to be reading her book than caring about what's going on around her.
No way.
It isn't until one of the last scenes of the film, when she's nominated to be the new captain of the academic decathlon team, that she reveals her friends call her MJ. In the comics, MJ is the nickname of Mary Jane Watson, the love of Spider-Man's life.
Thank you. My friends call me MJ.
Michael Keaton's character Adrian Toomes, aka the Vulture, has a pretty decent operation going by the time Spider-Man starts interfering, but there are two members of Toomes' team that stand out as other villains to the wall crawler. Herman Schultz gets his supervillain name in Spider-Man: Homecoming. He's the Shocker. Not exactly the biggest villain in Spider-Man's rogue gallery, but it's fun to see him on the screen after years of Green Goblins. Phineas Mason doesn't actually get his villainous moniker in the film, but in the comics he's known as the Tinkerer.
What did I tell you about looking at my...
Who's the guy on the left?
The man who the Vulture meets on the ferry for the weapons deal, and later runs into in prison, is Matt Gargan, played by Better Call Saul's Michael Mando. If you couldn't piece it together by the large neck tattoo he sports in the film, Matt Gargan eventually becomes the Scorpion.
This? It's not on you. It's on our, little spider friend?
Yeah.
Donald Glover has a small role in Spider-Man: Homecoming, but an exciting one for Spider fans. Glover plays Aaron Davis, a low-level criminal who eventually becomes a villain called the Prowler. That isn't what makes him special to the film, though. While being interrogated by Spider-Man, Davis mentions he has a nephew who lives in the area. Aaron Davis is the uncle of Miles Morales, aka the Ultimate Spider-Man. In the comics, Miles took the place of the Ultimate Universe's Peter Parker, after he was killed by the Green Goblin. He now resides in the main 616 universe, alongside the Peter Parker we know and love, as it seems is true in the MCU.
Who are these guys? What can you tell me about the guy with the wings?
What about Karen?
You can call me Karen, if you would like.
Karen, the AI inside Spider-Man's suit, was a last-minute addition and is voiced by none other than Jennifer Connelly. Connelly is married in real life to Paul Bettany who, before becoming Vision in Avengers Age of Ultron, voiced Jarvis the AI in Tony Stark's Iron Man suit.
Cool.
Spiderweb.
Kid, and you're a smart kid, so just try to keep your head straight, okay?
Okay.
In a great nod to the larger MCU, Kenneth Choi plays the principal of Peter's school, Principal Morita. In Captain America: The First Avenger, Choi played Jim Morita, a member of the Howling Commandos. He's returned to essentially play his own grandson in Spider-Man: Homecoming. In a scene in his office, where he is speaking with Peter, there are photos of Jim and the Howling Commandos.
All right, get out of here.
The Spider-Man films have paid homage to famous covers and scenes in the past. Think Peter throwing away his Spider-Man costume in the garbage in Spider-Man 2, and Homecoming is no different. Near the end of the film, after the Vulture drops a roof on Spidey, Peter struggles to push the rubble off himself as water rains down on him. This is a tribute to a famous Steve Ditko sequence from The Amazing Spider-Man 33.
They just finished remodeling.
After the final battle and the dust settles, Peter is driven to the new Avengers complex in upstate New York, where Iron Man offers him an Avengers membership, as well as a shiny new suit. While not exactly the same, it does bear a resemblance to the Iron Spider suit Stark builds for Peter during the Civil War comic book storyline.
Thank you, Mrs. Stark.
Last chance, yes or no?
No.
Okay.
People in there waiting for some big announcement. What am I going to tell them?